Welcome to Business Reporter's Disruptive Technologies campaign. I'm Alistair Greener. Efficiency and productivity are the bugbears of businesses and governments everywhere. The most popular responses to this performance problem are promoting robotics and automation. What's the right balance between artificial intelligence and human creativity, robots and empathy? This is what we're going to discuss with Dermot McCauley from Kofax. Good morning.
Hello, Alistair.
We live in this age of automation. We live alongside robots. Is there too little automation or is there too much?
Well, Alistair, I think the real question is what's the right balance between the automation that robots can provide and the work that humans will then still have to do. Robots are absolutely, frankly, startlingly great at process efficiency, so they can do repetitive tasks unlike any human. But there's still work that only humans can do, and it's important for us to get the balance right and make sure that what I like to think of as the new workforce, which is the combination of robots and people, is as a combination better than the old workforce, where it was mostly on the backs of people who were doing dull, repetitive work that was adding little value. Let's release those people to do more important work and let the robots do the work that they're hyper efficient at doing.
Artificial intelligence and robotic process automation, or RPA as you say, they're hot topics. So how can humans exploit this to the best?
I think we're in the midst of a true revolution, a digital revolution. Some call it the digital transformation. Robots or robotic process automation are revolutionizing the nature of the workforce. So the workforce we used to think of as the people we employ. The workforce is now the people we employ plus the robots. Artificial intelligence simply takes that combined workforce and the challenges of managing it to another level, because the robots are going to be smarter. They're going to be able to do what we sometimes think of as cognitive work, interpreting and understanding documents and situations. And after 100 years where management science has been all about the human workforce, how to inspire and lead and train and measure performance and improve productivity of, we now have a new challenge, which is the challenge of how management science can manage the newly intelligent combined workforce of human and robots.
Coming back to what you were talking earlier on about robotic process automation, what are the biggest problems that it can solve?
Well, there are really three kinds of things it does. The first, I think, is fairly commonly understood today, and it's simply productivity improvement. So walk into any organization and there are people and teams, and frankly, they're continually falling behind in their work, aren't they? Robots are like extra capacity on your team, and they can double the capacity, triple, quadruple, multiply 10 times, and they're cheap and they work 24/7. That has huge benefits for individual productivity and team productivity and organizational productivity. But it also has benefits for the individual humans, because think of those people who are still working there. They're dealing with maybe 10 insurance claims a day or 5 mortgage applications or whatever it may be. Their case productivity, they'll be able to get twice as much, 10 times as much done. So the payoffs are firstly in productivity. Secondly, again, any organization has a big burden of compliance. We're burdened with GDPR, with other regulations that force us to do work, and the cost of compliance is high because you've had to have people do that work. Robots can do that work because it's typically very repetitive work. It's just task automation. That's what robots do brilliantly. The third really is, it's not to do with the robots, it's to do with the people. So it frees people not only to get more case work done on claims, etc. every day, but also to build that relationship with the customer. And people aren't going to get replaced by robots. They're going to be still in the workforce, and they're just going to be working differently. And so the nature of human work is going to be impacted by robots significantly. It's going to put us all in roles where we need to be working more in empathetic roles, building customer relationships. And I think that'll be more satisfying for people as well as more productive for the organizations they work in.
Do you have a particular example or case study maybe that shows this really working?
In electronics, a big example. In banking, insurance, they're all over the place, and we've done lots of those projects. The Danish bank took from 14 days to 14 minutes. That's days to minutes, the time it takes to approve a loan. Another large financial organization took these customer due diligence checks, the kind of KYC, anti-money laundering checks that need to be done when you and I apply for an account, and again took those from 15 minutes to 1.5 minutes. So it's a 10x improvement, and that's frankly, in our experience at Kofax, the typical kind of metrics of the productivity improvements that are available.
Talking of Kofax, tell us a little bit more about who you are and more importantly, what you bring to the table in terms of this technology.
Well, Kofax is a global enterprise software company. So we're in the business of helping customers in multiple industries become more efficient, serve their customers better. We are I think we're the only, frankly, and if you look at the independent industry analysts, they'll attest to this, that we're the only single company from whom you can get leading RPA technology. So the robots we can provide to you. We also provide AI technology so that those robots can be smarter. Many of those processes we talked of, account opening, claims, there's documents to be sent in. And what the smarter robots that we're now implementing for customers can do is they can use artificial intelligence to understand that document, interpret the content, something that people used to have to do, and then just provide the human worker with the key points so that the human worker can then do their work and make the right decisions. So uniquely, we provide it as a single provider. Many people are dipping their toe in the robot revolution. What I encourage people to do is plan for scale. And that is something in which Kofax is distinctively strong, enterprise scalability of the robotic process automation technology.
If you could sum this up in just 3 main points that our audience can take away, what would they be?
Well, firstly, I think, if you're not in the robot revolution, you need to get on the train, so to speak. Immediately get those productivity improvements I talked of as the first thing. Think also about the scalability and how you're really going to manage this digital workflow so that you don't have digital chaos. Second thing is work with someone like us who can hold your hand through the revolution. It's easy to stumble, easy to make a mistake. We have been there, we've done this, work with a trusted partner. And third, think about the people. Think about the people who are going to have new digital workmates, let's call them. To succeed in the digital revolution, those people need to be part of that future with you. So think on the broader perspective about the new intelligent workforce that's the combination of robots and AI and people.
It's been fascinating to have that little bit of a glimpse into the future.
Alistair, my pleasure.
Dermot McCauley from Kofax, thank you very much.
Thank you.